What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We are here. We are Smoove, and as you can see, we have some very special guests with us today. You know what's going on right here, don't you? You know how this goes. It's going to be a show tonight. We're offering some value and a little bit of entertainment at the same time. So, we hope you are ready to listen up. We hope you're ready to learn. We hope you're ready to ask questions. Don't be bashful. There will be a segment where we will allow a Q&A. You can cam up. The link will be in the description. It is in the description. And we also have the phone number for those of you who might be a little bashful or may not want us to see a creepy situation. And that's fine too. Right? So, first of all, you know, anytime I want to bring a heavy hitter through, right? Somebody who's going to bring us some of that money talk, right? How to get your life right. I bring the homeboy, Cuban J. Cuban J in the building. Cuban J is in the building. Show this man some respect. Show that man some respect.
Yeah.
So why are you here, bro?
Well, I brought with me somebody on my team, real estate broker Sheri. Say what's up, Sheri.
Hey, what's up?
So we're gonna see how we get these guys to get some property.
Yes,
Let's
yes, that's why we are here. I know you guys
some
want
money.
to know. Throw the likes up. Throw the likes up. We got a bunch of people in here. Throw the likes up. Please do. It definitely helps. Please do. And if you are first joining, please do subscribe. We guarantee you are going to get something out of this episode. So, yeah, throw some likes. Don't be bashful with the likes. Throw those likes up. All right. And share this, too. Share this to some people who you want to learn, who you want to also benefit, also want to get to the money and get their life right. Sometimes we just got to get our life right. So I know you know somebody who needs to get their life right. So we're going to do that. Now, you know how we do. We allow our guests to introduce themselves. So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to waste no time. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let them know a little bit about you.
All right, my name is Sheri Rivera, and I'm the broker of record for Realty of Princeton. I've been in the business for over 30 years, and I am ready to divulge some information that you need.
Excellent, 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 excellent. Should we? Are you ready for us to just like jump?
Let's jump in it.
Yeah, let's get ready.
Let's get in there.
Let's get in there. Right into the questions.
We're gonna jump right in there.
Okay.
So let's do it.
Let's do it. First question, which I know cats want to hear. I know they want to hear, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself I'm just anxious I had to do it just for the question because I know this is what they want to hear.
What do you want to hear?
With the current state of the market right now, right? People are scared, as you know what, to buy a house. It's a long-term investment. You don't know how things are. You don't know if the prices are going to go down. You don't know if the prices are going to go up. What is the right thing to do? Is it a good time to buy? Is it not a good time to buy? How should you strategize about purchasing a home in the market today?
All right, so let's start with the fact that you cannot just walk out of your house, pick a house, and purchase it anymore. That's not how it is.
No?
It used to be, I suppose, maybe a week or so. You could get it under contract.
Wow.
Now, it might be 4 months, 5 months, 6 or more before you are actually able to select a home, write a contract for it, and be accepted for it.
Wow.
So,
Why is that?
low inventory. Everyone is so afraid to move, there's nothing to move to.
Okay.
All right? You can't move out of a house unless you have a house to move into. Most people who are homeowners don't want to go into a rental situation.
All right.
Right? So they don't want to sell their home unless they can be assured of being able to purchase something that they like.
Word.
Okay.
Okay. There's a couple comments in here real quick.
What
We generally throw them up on the board if we see them come through. And so far, we have the homeboy Scar is in the building.
Hey, Scar.
Let's get it. He's very hyped
What's up, Scar?
to see what it do. And the homeboy Alpha Kingdom. Anybody who is not familiar with Alpha Kingdom, check out his channel. He has more game than the most of them. I can tell you right now. So definitely check him out. He offers value on his channel, everything else. So definitely check out the homeboy Alpha Kingdom when you get a chance. If you like my channel, you're gonna like his too. So go ahead and get that. So now, with that being said, right, we know that it's a scary thing to do that. We know it's gonna take long. If you were gonna say how much money you should have, like in the bank, right, when you want to purchase a home, what should you do? Let's say your house is going to be $250,000, right? How would you go about that?
Actually,
what should you have?
Yeah. What about the interest rates? Does that make
a difference?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are 3 things that you want to be concerned about when you want to purchase a home,
What are they?
right? There's going to be
You said 3, right?
There will be 3.
Okay. What are they?
They're going to be your interest rate, of course. They're going to be your income, right? And they're going to be your savings, or what you have for resource in order to purchase a home,
Okay.
right? So this is what I want people to know. We're in a situation where you can't see an opportunity and then prepare for it. You have to prepare for the opportunity so that when it comes to you, you're ready.
You're ready. Got
Right?
it. Yes,
You can't do it like you did it before. Okay? If your grandfather or your father says, "No, man, that's not how we do it. We do," with respect, say, "Dad, we're in a different season. We're in a different season, Dad. I need to prepare now. I'm not going to just walk out the house and find a house like you did. You know."
All right. So what does somebody now in this era? What's the process they have to go through to buy a house?
What you want to do is make sure you have 2-year work history.
Okay,
Right?
2-year work history.
2-year work history.
Okay.
You want to make sure that your credit score is in 620-ish area. You know, a little bit more than that would be great. Like if you don't have a 700 credit score, but you have 620, you have something you can work with.
Okay.
If it's less than that, you're not going to get the best interest rate if you have the lowest credit score, right? So you want to make sure that your credit score is as high as you can get it before you make application for your mortgage. All right.
Absolutely.
That takes preparation,
Okay.
right? So,
Now, that doesn't mean that the people under 620, is there no hope for them?
no, there is hope.
Okay.
There are programs if you have a credit score under 520.
Okay, so they do have
The
programs.
mortgage industry is aware that there's a little bit of a challenge with the credit score, and if you are working on that credit score and you're showing some initiative, they can put you into a mortgage program.
Okay.
But again, don't ask them, "Can I pay the lowest interest rate?" if you have the lowest credit score, right?
Gotcha.
Right. Okay.
I heard something the other day that kind of blew my mind.
What is this? What you got?
The federal government is promoting 40-year mortgages.
Yeah, that's been around for a little bit now. The interest rate is crazy though.
I would imagine.
I don't
You're
rec-
probably going to pay, what, 10 times the
Yeah.
value of a home when it's all said and
You're
done?
gonna pay it 4 times over. I personally don't do that.
Yeah.
In my team, we don't do that. We don't condone 40-year.
You don't condone. Yeah. So, all right, I want to ask you this. Let's
right.
just say,
But they're out there.
Right.
and either one can answer. What do you think? Would you go for a 30-year or a 15?
It all depends
On
the income.
Okay.
Not everybody has disposable income like that.
Right. I agree.
So if I would go for a 30, and if I see that I have disposable income, I would
Then you just
give
smash
it a
the
couple.
principal?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
just give it a couple extra payments here and there.
Right.
Okay, so it's more advisable to go for the
Yeah.
30.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So what else you got? You said 3 things, right? Interest rates, credit score,
And savings.
and savings. Okay.
Right. All right.
So
So, let's
now,
say you don't have enough savings.
Okay.
All right. So the federal government and mortgage lenders have also put in some first-time home buyer programs that you might be able to apply for. You might be qualified for that, right?
And what are some of those?
Well, that we're going to leave to our mortgage financing people because
Gotcha.
they know
Okay.
exactly what's happening,
We're
and
gonna
I
bring
can't
that
put
in.
my
Yeah,
finger.
Bring it up.
Yeah. Can't put my finger on that financing.
Okay.
No.
I got you.
Specialize in real estate. Yeah. But I do want to just mention that there are programs available. You might have been saving and just can't get there.
Yeah.
So there's money available to help.
Got it.
It's money
Got it,
available.
Got it.
So is it still 20% down?
No.
'Cause that's a big myth, though.
No.
Talk to me.
No. Okay, so let's talk about why people are stuck on the 20%. So the federal government will guarantee a mortgage lender 80% of the value if you default.
Okay.
All right, that leaves 20%, right? So if you put 20% down, they're completely covered. You might not be covered, but
Right.
they're covered,
They're
right?
covered.
Right.
Now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What about PMI?
So you have mortgage insurance premiums which are related to FHA loans. You have private mortgage insurance that's related to conventional loans.
Okay.
So if you don't put down 20%, you're going to be paying one of those to make up
Yes.
the difference.
Right.
The only thing you want to be aware of is that the conventional private mortgage insurance will go away once you gain 20% equity in your property. The MIP is not going to go away.
Got
The
it.
FHA is going to stay with you
Okay.
for the life of the
Yeah,
loan.
for life of the
because
loan.
Yeah.
yeah, see that's outrageous.
Right.
Then you got to remember to call and let them know that you reached 20%. It's not
Because
something
they're
that
not- it's
happens
not gonna
automatically.
They're not going to.
default
Right. Yeah.
now.
No. It's like, oh, you know what?
So you could be there for
owe-
years and
yeah,
not even
yeah.
know that
They're
it
gonna
was
keep
off.
charging
You
you
owe
back.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't worry about it. You owe 40%. That's good. You got 40% extra. That's nice. That's
Oh
nice.
wow,
Why
yeah,
should the
that's
team,
that's a
man?
scary thing because I was always, I mean, I didn't know when I first got my mortgage. I did end up doing a PMI because I put down something really stupid like 3%. I bought my house when I was in my 20s still,
Right.
and I had no knowledge of the housing game. Right? If I would have met you back then, who knows? I probably would have been in a mansion right now instead. You know what I mean? I would have saved my 20%. I would have waited a year until the market collapsed. I bought my house in the worst possible time. I bought my house pretty much like 07, right before the mortgage
everything,
bubble and
right.
everything
Yeah.
else.
Right.
So
It's a good
I
time
paid
to
a
buy.
premium for it, and then I was upside down the next year.
Dang.
Bad. I didn't even want to look at it.
You know what? But let's go back. You bought your home in your 20s.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people think they have to wait until they're 30 or 40 to purchase a home. You can buy a home when you're 18.
Tell them, Sheree.
All
And
right.
let me tell you how you can
Go ahead,
listen.
do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Listen.
That's
Bust that
this
move.
the game
Bust-
that I want right
right,
here.
listen,
This the
listen.
game that I want right here.
Talk to me.
You
Tell
get
'em.
you get a job at 16.
Uh-huh.
You work for 2 years. Do a good job. Save some money. 18. Start looking for a house because you can buy a house.
Get that
At
wealth
18.
early. Get that wealth
Right. Get
early,
the wealth
right?
early. Yes.
Mm.
You don't have to wait. Don't be out riding your ride.
So is this like a special program that allows you to do that, or just by
No,
working, having
just
a 2-year
by-
history?
Just by working, have a 2-year history.
Right.
Don't buy the most expensive ride you can find right now. You get a house, you can buy what you want.
Exactly.
Get the house, then get the car. Don't get the car because then you don't get the house. Got it? Good. All right.
So, if you were
It's
gonna
that easy, bro.
That's
Yeah,
that.
You know what I mean?
I mean-
It's got a little discipline. Though.
So all you really need is two
Working at
years. All you really
16.
need is 2 years of
Work history. You need
Work
a
history.
2-year work
Mhm.
history.
And some credit.
Some good credit.
Yeah.
So even if you just now establish credit or whatever, it doesn't matter as long as you're within the parameters, right, of at least 620 if you wanted one of the higher interest rates, and then
Right.
up in the 7s
Yeah.
if you wanted the better ones. It's no problem for you to go ahead and just take the plunge right away. And I mean, I found there being more of a value in owning myself because eventually that mortgage does go away, and then you're just paying taxes.
Well, you also have tax advantages too. The mortgage insurance. I mean, the interest.
Right. The interest
You
is
can
the
write
tax.
off on your taxes.
Yes,
too.
yes,
Right.
absolutely.
So-
Versus renting, and then you have your own space. Because a lot of people feel like you just have to rent first.
Yeah, that's the problem with us as a people. We don't concentrate on making wealth early, so you can play later. We play hard early, and then we end up working till we're
A
old.
lot much more. When
Exactly.
you're later.
So
yeah.
You get the house early, you start making those payments. By the time you get in your mid-20s, you're done.
Right.
You know, you have the equity and sell it and do it over.
Right.
Okay, I got a question.
What you got?
I got a question from Garage Geek over here.
What's up,
So,
Garage Geek?
Hey.
Garage Geek says, "What's better, a HELOC
A
or
HELOC.
HEL?"
That would be for my my finance lady. It's a mortgage question.
Right. It's a mortgage question.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna have her on the show next week.
we're
Yeah.
gonna have that on, so don't worry about that. All right, here's another one. All right, where is the best place to buy a house now in New Jersey when the average house is near 450K if you make less than 80K a year? That's a good one by
That's
Star.
a good question.
that's
and
up your alley.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah. Well, you're definitely going to be looking in South Jersey for sure. And I'm going to say specifically Gloucester County is probably going to be a good place to find a home.
Gloucester County.
Mhm.
And the
That's
property
not very
taxes.
far from here.
The tax, you would be very, very surprised
What you
how
got?
low the taxes are. No less than, let's say 6.5,
6.5
Yeah.
for what?
Oh,
About
wow.
a quarter acre or what?
a quarter acre, maybe more.
Really?
Gloucester County,
6,000. Up North Jersey, they're like double, at
What?
least
Triple.
Yeah, easily. I'm talking about crazy high,
Yeah.
crazy high. So Gloucester County is the way to go.
the West Gloucester County.
Are there any particular townships in Gloucester County you would mention, or it doesn't matter?
Scar, what's your budget? That all depends too on the man's budget.
Well, he's saying that these houses are near $450K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
But is
outrageous.
that $80K a year with very minimal bills, savings?
Okay, yeah. If you
good
can
credit score?
answer that, Scar, what do you think? What do you think about that? Now, we had something else. Can you make a 30-year mortgage a 15 just by paying down the principal in addition to the monthly payments?
My experience is you won't get to 15, but you might take off 12.
You might
of the
take
years,
off about 12
of the
years.
years, not 15, but
Well, that's not bad, because then you'd only be up to 18.
It also depends
That's
too,
not bad.
Smoove, because some banks, they allow you to make 2 payments a month, break it up every 15 days.
Okay.
And that will help the amortization table, which is the table at the back end of the loan that
Got
takes
it.
the years off.
Yes.
Some banks, if you make 2 payments, they'll still hold the first payment, wait for the second one, and then make the make the one payment.
Some people
so
do
you don't
penalize
have that
for,
savings.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah.
So if your bank allows you to make a couple payments a month with the same amount, so if your mortgage is $1,000 a month, you make a 500 and a 500, you just stop the compound interest every 15 days.
Now, I'll tell you this. I'm not a financial expert per se, but what I will say from experience is that if you are fortunate enough to be a member of a credit union, use them, because their interest rates are generally a lot lower than your traditional banks. From my experience, always way lower. And their rules are way more like family style. They allow you
more
to
protection.
do So if you can get yourself with the credit union, get pre-approved, you'll be in a much better situation than going to a traditional bank if you have the opportunity. At least do a comparison. Don't just go ahead and get one loan. And the way that the credit system now is comprised, if you search multiple places, whether you're looking for a car or a house, if you search it all within a small window within that month, it only counts as one inquiry. And there's a way to get rid of that too, which I'll do that on another show. But yeah, that you can get rid of it. So don't worry about the inquiries. What I do know for sure is the credit has modified to where it's been modified to where if you make more than multiple inquiries for the same type of thing, whether it's like all for a house or
same purchase.
Yeah. So then you'll be fine. You're not going to get hit with multiple inquiries. So definitely try some different, get some different quotes and see what you get.
You can also shop credit unions because every credit union has a different
policy. Yeah, absolutely.
So different interest rates will vary from credit union to credit union.
Definitely. And a lot of these, you don't have to actually apply to find out what their interest rates are. That you can find out
right on
prior
the
to that. Yeah, exactly. So definitely do your homework before you go into the finance game, because it's only going to save you thousands of dollars. So per year, really. Just people don't understand if it's a 0.1 interest rate, how much money that really dogs you over the years. People don't understand it's the interest of the entire loan. When you're talking about 1% of $400,000, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead with that. There was another question here. Let's see what we have here. Garage Gang. Let's see what you got. Is mortgage insurance tax deductible, and does it count towards the SALT 10K cap? What do you think? Is that when you got
the mortgage insurance is on a residential property is not tax deductible.
Oh.
Now, if you have a business, it's a different story.
Absolutely. Okay. So there
we're keeping it residential.
There you have it. All right, so let me see. I was asking for a friend. Okay, so basically he's saying, nah, son, I make way more than $80K a year.
But back to you, Sheri. So people are intimidated with the home buying process. They could actually contact your office, and you go through them step by step, checking down payment, what their credit is. You can also give them tours.
Yes, tours is a way of looking for homes, shopping for homes.
Is it virtual or in person?
It's in person with me, but it can be virtual if you want to do it online. But you
can't.
It's not.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever
the
seen a
same.
picture of a room that looks like, wow, that's
it's
a
big,
nice.
and you get there.
Oh, you get there, and you're like, this
all
is
the
an
time.
8x8.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
What are we?
yeah.
I can't even put my bed in this room. What are we?
So that's a question that's something that I definitely want to get into for a second, because right now we live in a microwave society, and many people, particularly the youth, they think that you can just go in and watch something real quick. Oh, that's cool, over the computer. And I'm gonna tell you from what I've seen, you just have to go in person. Like just like if I were gonna purchase a car, I would never do that. I have to see it. You have to hear what it sounds like.
You have to drive it. You have
yeah,
to be in it.
You have to
spend
get
some time
in
with it.
Because there are some
Any major purchase you should actually see in person.
A guy like me, I'm gonna tell you, just because I sold a few cars in my day, my cars, because I like to play around with cars and stuff. I sold some cars. Yes, I sure did. I sure did. And what happened is, I know how to take pictures really well. I never went to the extent of editing them, but I could have easily edited them, and they would never know what was going on, right?
Okay.
But what I did do is I know how to take it from very good angles. Like a lot of how the women will catfish you if they don't have a hairline. They'll take a picture like this, and you know what I mean. If they're super fat, they'll go right here. They'll never pass their neck. Yeah, they know how to fool you. When you go and look at these sites, sometimes they're going to fool you. So I would encourage you. I would strongly suggest that you go inside these homes, see what they look like, see what they smell like, see how the floors sound when you walk on them. You want to go in the basement. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you're not gonna want to. You want to turn the water on, turn some faucets on. see if you hear the right. You ever turn the faucet on? And then
I was just thinking that.
No, seriously, I know that happened before.
Come on. There's a lot of noise but no heat. The door doesn't close just right.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So
that floor has a dip.
You definitely want to go out there in person. Now, what I will say is you can use them as a guide, because at least you'll have an idea, right? You would have an idea. You say, hey, I'm looking at the site. Okay, that one looks like it's one that I want to visit, not one that I want to buy, one that I want to shop, right? So you take the ones that do look the best, that do sound the best, have the descriptions that you like and everything, the dimensions that you like. What you need to do first, I'll just say this. Get your dimensions right. Go measure something, measure your house, so at least you know, you have an idea of what dimensions are. So before you go out, you don't realize, if you don't know what an 18 by 24 looks like, then you're not going to know. You're going to be off, and they could just put any numbers on it. You won't know. You can make a room look big. You can put some tiny furniture in there, and you won't know the difference. So what I'm telling you is that you want to look at that. So I want you to tell us what some of the main. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was going to say, I really wanted to make sure that people know that now is the time to purchase a home. Okay, so people are afraid to jump in. Okay,
now's
so
the time to buy one.
Right, so let's use an analogy. So you know when you're driving, and you always have that driver who's very nice, and they let other people in front of you. They got to let people in so they can go on their little merry way. Well, every time they let somebody in, you get pushed back in space, and they get pushed back in space, right? Okay. So if you're not looking for a home now, when you're prepared to buy one, you're the one that's actually letting the people in, because it's a very small inventory, right?
It's like an auction almost.
Not like an auction, but let's just say
like a bidding war.
There are bidding wars. People are still graduating from school. People are still trying to get out of their parents' basements, right? People are still coming home from tours of duty and want to purchase a home, right? So every time you decide that you want to wait and see how things are going, the interest rates are only slightly higher than they were 3 years ago. And it would have been nice if you got a 2 or 3 or 4% interest rate, but we're not in that window anymore.
Yeah, Donald Trump had us spoiled for a minute there with this basement, bottom basement.
Right,
you can buy it down. That's going to cost you some money if you buy the interest rate down.
Right. But on the long run, it's taxable.
Yeah,
in the long run, when you calculate how much you pay every year for your rental unit,
you might as well have a
You may as well. Yeah, you want to save
between the equity that you gain, tax advantages, and a place that you call your own.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I do want to talk about that in a second. We do have another question.
What's up?
If the economy crashes in the third quarter and we will have a full recession, will that be a better time to buy a house?
If we have a full recession, the economy crashes.
What are you going to use about it?
You could take a house. I want that one. My man, all hell breaks loose. Who cares about the rules, right?
What do you think about that?
Well, let me say that someone is always in a position to purchase if they prepared to. Even if the economy crashes, somebody's going to be able to purchase real estate. Why can't it be you? Why has it been somebody else?
Yeah, I think Scar's talking about if you really want to, what do you say? If the economy crashes in the third quarter and we're in a full recession,
and you still have a job,
people are going to keep their homes.
they're going to keep their homes, and the ones that lose their homes are going to be sold to other people
Right.
who are prepared to buy them.
Yeah,
Right?
you have foreclosures. People are going to lose.
They're gonna-
They're going to
somebody
lose
is
their
gonna-
jobs. They're going to
right.
lose their homes. They're going to be foreclosed.
Right.
on.
Yeah. So now
You come
is
in and
it? So
dip all those
now,
foreclosures, Scar.
right now is a good time. Do you think so? I think what they're getting at is now is a good time, as you said, right?
Right.
Do you think it'll be a better time, or should we just jump right in now and not wait till
As an
it's
investor, as an investor,
Mhm.
I think you probably would agree with me. I would wait till those foreclosures come in,
Oh,
right?
okay.
If you're a first-time home buyer, you want to have your family, your first home, then I would just say no time like the present. The earlier you get in, get those payments out of the way, the better you have later on with in terms of equity and financial freedom. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So it
you
all
know,
depends on
right,
your
Right.
because the
situation.
foreclosures is a whole different ballgame of the caliber home you're going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not
So,
prepared. You don't know what type of
kind
surprises
repairs
you're gonna
and-
have.
Exactly.
Woo!
So
Yes.
get the home now. Sheri has the whole one-stop shop, so you don't have to be intimidated anymore about purchasing and gaining some wealth in your portfolio. Those of you that have 9-to-5 jobs, less than 80K, as Sheri said, a home is still affordable. There's still a way around it. They have programs out there, and she's privy to them, and her office and her team can walk you through. The financing part, her team could walk you through. And the other thing was contracts, right?
Right. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the actual home buying process, because some people are even intimidated by that.
Yeah.
And there's no need to be. Really, if you have a good team behind you, you'll get through the process. You'll get to the table. You'll get your keys, and then you'll be set. So first thing you want to do is finance them. You already know you're going to be pre-approved for your mortgage, right? You're going to go to a reputable mortgage lender, parenthesis, reputable mortgage lender, because there are some scammers out there. So you want to make sure you have a recommendation that you can trust.
Grade A lender
But you already have that taken care of on your team. So she comes with
with all that.
her mortgage team
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
Yep. All right.
and
you have-
attorneys too.
We
And
did
it-
get another question come in. Is flipping houses dead? Is flipping homes dead? Is it dead? Where?
It's not dead, but the number of investors has increased significantly over the years. So the opportunities that you would
okay.
normally have found for flipping homes is not as readily available to you as it might have been.
Because now you have the big fish just
Now
coming
you-
in and absorbing everything,
Correct.
and they have the resources to
Yeah.
source them now way
Right.
better than you can. They'll be on lists that are not available to the general public.
Correct.
So
Exactly.
you're pretty much scraping the bottom of the barrel, the more undesirable ones, the ones that you would probably have to put a lot of work in that they wouldn't want to be bothered with.
Right. Correct.
Scar,
So-
it's not.
We
It's
need
not
that.
dead.
We need that.
But
brr.
you have to be really talented, really skilled. Have your own team
I'm
of people
sorry,
come
guys, but if
Wah,
you
wah.
want to do it, you're going to have to put the work in. It's going to be tougher than it's ever been,
Yep.
unfortunately. But yeah, just so you know, that answers that.
in. Yeah, Scar has some good questions.
Yeah.
Keep them
All
coming.
right, Garage Geek, where we at? Let's see. Are there any protections to purchasing a home under an LLC?
Well, go ahead. You want to take that? You want me to take it?
Yeah. Go ahead. Take that one. I'm gonna tell you why. Just answer that, and I'll
Go
tell
ahead.
you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so there are legal ramifications for using an LLC to purchase a property. Once that property is under the LLC and you feel like you might want to change the deeded ownership into your personal name, it's going to be issues. Either way you do that,
Oh,
those two animals are not designed to mate.
that's the problem with that.
That's the problem.
Oh, man.
You're right.
That never happened.
good?
Where we like keep doing it. They would do it once or twice, maybe, but not like continuously.
Yes.
Maybe this table's on a lean in it.
Garage Geek, if you have good insurance, having an LLC other than some tax benefits. Now here's the tax benefit comes in to if you are a married. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. There's a difference between buying a home and putting on an LLC and having a home privately. And the biggest difference is this. When you sell that home in an LLC and you have $400,000 of equity that you obtain from that, having it be a private owner, being married, you have up to $450,000 of up to a maximum that
It's tax free.
is tax free.
It's tax free.
You don't have that ability when you have an LLC by that.
Got it.
So you sell that home, and that 450, the cap, now it becomes 100% taxable. You follow?
Got it.
So
got it.
that's the difference between having an LLC privately and a private home. Is you with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry. We're gonna open it up in a minute too, because we're gonna have the phone lines open and the we're gonna do the video as well. We just let the first hour go by. We're gonna put all the sauce on it because I don't want you to be interrupted.
Good questions. It's good questions.
I want you to we can take these questions as we find openings right now.
Right.
Once I know they're gonna bombard us with questions, and that's fine. That's what we want you to do. Once that time arrives, I want you to bombard us with questions. But y'all can keep throwing them in here. We'll just pick them up as we can, and we'll throw them on the screen for everyone to see. And if you like the knowledge, go ahead and throw a like in. Share this to a couple people if you can. That would be very useful. As this information, I'm sure, is useful to you.
Now, Sheri, what kind of properties are available now in the market?
You want to make sure that you're buying something that's a standard sale if you can. All right, so the most common is a standard sale. There's a family that owns a home. They want to move out of the home and you want to purchase it. That's a standard sale. But you want to buy a foreclosure as well. Most people don't know what a foreclosure is. That's a home where a family has already given up their rights to the home and it's being sold without their involvement. Right.
The bank is
The bank is right. But an REO is the same. So if you
What's
see
that last one?
an REO, real estate owned property, is a property that the bank is selling as if they were the seller.
Got it.
Okay, so they now have the deed and they want to sell the home. It's just like a standard sale, except the bank is the seller.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I would imagine there's probably going to be some downsides to buying a home that's foreclosed, right? Some that we just mentioned a little bit, but what are the common things that people should look out for when buying a home that's been foreclosed on? What should they look out for in particular?
Condition.
Yeah.
Condition.
A lot of
It's
copper
going to be
missing,
it's
right?
going to be copper missing. It's going to be broken windows. It's going to be paint peeling.
Stolen tanks, hot water tanks.
Right.
Yeah, HVAC units.
Oh,
And then you have listen, you have mold remediation, you have mold in the house. That's expensive to take out. You can have structural damage, cracks and walls that are coming down. You can have even pests like termites,
wood boring,
woodwork.
But someone told me before when I was purchasing my home, they said that, and I don't know if this is true or not, but maybe you can correct this. I was told that 80% of homes in New Jersey have had termites. Is that anywhere near accurate?
I don't think there's a really. I mean, how do you control
Any moderator? Go ahead and look that up. No, you can't. But that's what I was saying. Like, is that common? That
I don't know.
80%?
That's
like,
crazy.
That's crazy. I'm like, wait,
What?
Where did you get that
This is
statistic?
online.
Online?
Yeah, I looked it up. I mean, 80%.
It hasn't been my experience that many homes have. Like, I would not say that 80% of the homes that I've sold have termites.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty
That's a pretty high number. I thought that was wild. But yeah, we're gonna carry it on.
I don't know. It's interesting. Get back to you on it, right?
Yeah, but I can tell you.
How many foreclosure homes have bums in them?
Oh, well, that's the easy part. That's the easy part. We can get you out of here. That's not
They're not easy, man.
we can
Unless
take-
you know them. Unless you know somebody that is gonna foreclose and you're on top of it.
Oh yeah, well see that's the whole thing. Yeah, if you knew somebody, then they probably because some people deliberately,
They tear their stuff up.
on
They tear
purpose
it up.
sometimes, and I'm
They
like, man,
pissed they couldn't make that payment, man.
and so
I can't have my house,
nobody can.
You can. But if you have a
This is
team,
my house.
if you have a team, which is hard to come by, workers are hard to come by.
Oh yeah.
Construction costs are expensive. Having a team to do the maintenance and repair on the home and the construction, whatever they need, adding a wall, taking a wall down, etc. If you have your own team, then I would say you're a good candidate for a foreclosure home. If you're just a one-man show, I would stay away from that.
Now let's say here's something that a lot of people don't know about, right? Let's say, all right, you want to go ahead and apply for your mortgage, like you want to buy a home, and you're like, okay, so I have, I see a nice house for $100,000 that I want to buy.
Where?
Right? It's foreclosed.
$100,000.
It's foreclosed on, right?
It's foreclosed,
It needs
right.
repairs.
Oh, yeah?
It needs repairs, right?
All right.
So the comps in the area are decent, but
Comps, you mean comparables, right?
yeah,
For those that don't know what comps are.
yeah. So now I don't have an extra 20,000. Will
Right.
I be able to get that from the bank to say, hey, listen, this home needs $20,000
Yeah.
repair,
Absolutely.
and I put that into the mortgage to repair this house?
Yeah.
It's called a 203K product. It's an actual
Excellent.
mortgage product that allows you to borrow both the purchase price and the renovation costs together.
So there you have it, guys. So that's perfect for when you're talking about if it's a good neighborhood, good school system, something like that. You're good. You like the space. It's in a nice area and location, right? And it's just maybe older people live there who couldn't maintain the house. Now, if it's cheap enough, it could be foreclosed on. It could be maybe somebody died. That happens a lot, right? What do they call that when if somebody dies?
It's an estate sale.
It's okay, great.
Right.
So that would just be included, and everything in the house is all for
For sale.
yeah, it's all gain. Everything in the house, right?
It depends on what location it's in. Some homes that have estate sales, there's so much value in the home and also in the personal possessions. They'll have someone come in and do an estate sale
An
for
estate
them
sale,
for
yeah.
all of the personal items, and then they will sell the home. So it depends on what area.
Got it.
That
Going to these
Got
$1
it.
million homes and they
Yeah,
have
they're not
artwork
gonna-
that's a
right,
couple
they're
$1
not
million,
gonna
they're
say-
the
Ferrari,
Ferrari and the Porsche that's in the house is part of the house.
Yeah, I
You
ran
know.
into a dude one time, and he bought it was an M3. It had like 12,000 miles on it. He got it for like $10,000. But
Wow.
it was in the garage at the estate sale, and they were like,
That's good.
"Oh, I didn't even know
Lucky,
this was here."
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you could really come off with those. So just keep that in mind, people, because if you're able to find a really nice area and the house just needs some work, just make sure you are pre-approved for that and whatever else, and you heard how to do it. So that's actually a very good tip. We did get another one. Let me see.
What you got? Who's
Oh, it was like a couple thing there.
what?
Let's see what we got here. Okay, if commercial real estate continues to suffer due to more vacancies since COVID, I said that word. You got me there, Star. How dare you?
You're fired.
So,
Is it possible that we see many property owners just dump the property, especially if it's under an LLC? Well, again, under an LLC is a whole different ballgame.
Right.
You can. It'll be a tax deduction, a loss. But I don't think that.
So what they the
don't
beef
think people
the beef
are
in the
dumping
matter
their
is, yeah. Are they just gonna
No,
dump
because
it?
that's an asset. You can just hold on to it past the recession. Every recession has a recovery. They
Historically.
historically, it lasts about 5 years, and you're back on it again.
And there's another option as well. Some companies are letting go of properties and they're changing the use of the property. For instance, a movie theater might be a church now.
Oh yeah,
You know?
I saw a movie
So-
theater
so
turn to
there
a
are
Planet
some-
Fitness just now.
right,
It was
so-
like,
And you got a lot of Airbnbs which
Right.
weren't around before,
Correct.
so you
Yeah.
have more of an option now. You
so
can
they'll
actually
repurpose them.
you
They'll
can
repurpose,
it.
yeah.
You can
For-
have people
for
come in.
rental.
They
they
might
can
not
still
dump
make money.
them.
Before you have to be just a hotel to have people coming in and out.
Right.
Got it. Got it. So even in like the business district now, like, because what happened, especially people who were call centers and things like that, if your job is to be on the phone all day, that job is probably, your office is now your home.
Yes, your home. Yeah.
I don't think that a lot of that is coming back, because what happened is companies realized that they were able to comprise different ways for it to become as efficient as, or even more efficient than it was prior to, the virus. And they started to realize, hey, we're saving money. We're generating as much revenue, but we're not paying for bathrooms. We're not paying for electricity
Lights.
every
Right.
month, water,
A lot of-
maintenance, cleaning.
a lot of people, no situation scar. They also have international buyers to come in and repurpose that building or that commercial property into whatever their need is internationally, whether it's their headquarter office, whether it's their building assembly facility. So it doesn't have to be something sold locally for local purposes. Our economy may be bad, however, the other countries may find
Wow. So you don't
purpose
think
in the
there's going to
United
be any extra available properties for the low?
We wouldn't want people to.
No, investors going to hit that hard.
Right. Yeah.
I would buy it quick.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
You don't want to guarantee. You don't want to think
Right.
that's a guarantee for you, right? You like
Okay.
you don't.
So as a realtor, she would be able to look those properties up for you.
Got
They
it.
come
Yeah.
in.
So
and her
all of-
connections with investors,
you'll be able
she
to.
would be able to tell your fans of the show, hey, look, before it goes on the MLS, before it's publicly listed as a property for sale,
Got it.
she would have the contacts to
Yeah,
say, hey,
so
look, you
listen,
guys are privy to.
I think you guys may want to grab her information. It's all in the description, her phone numbers and everything. She gave out the digits, man. Y'all listen, they in there. They in there. Email, everything. You could definitely reach her. So I would definitely check her out because, yeah, she has access that you don't. So when you're looking for, if you're thinking about properties like that, well, here's your in because she's definitely going to have more access than you ever will as far as new properties going on the market or not even on the market yet because you have access to properties that are like not on the market. So if you're if that's your game, if that's what you want to do, then definitely holla. All right. What's the best way to take advantage of equity in your house without selling? That's a good one, Garage Geek. What you got for that?
Well, you want to get a home equity line of credit, but from the most part, when you take money out of your property, people don't realize if you don't put it back, the equity is not there when you sell your property, right? You can take money out of the property, that's not an issue. But don't try to use the equity in your property once it's already been withdrawn. Does that make sense? So let's say, for instance, let's use numbers. Okay, so you have $200,000 of equity in your home. You
Okay.
took out $140,000 of it and used it to go to Hawaii and stay with your friends for 6 months.
Right.
That was amazing.
You still got to pay that
You
money.
still got to pay the money
This
back.
is what Garage Geek was saying. What is the best way to take advantage of that? So you would have to put it into an investment whereby that payment for that equity would be covered.
You have
Right.
to put it back into the property. You
Yeah.
can't go to Hawaii. You can't buy a car. You have to use it to benefit the home.
Don't
Absolutely.
That
Go out,
was
don't
so
go out and put it
removed
on
from-
black, gamble it.
So build a deck, fix your bathrooms and kitchens. Let me ask you that. Is that still
Yes. The answer
Bathrooms
is
and
yes.
kitchens?
Yes. Yes.
Quickest way to
Yes,
raise the
because
value of your
if
home?
women are buying houses, that's always going to be the first thing that they see.
Yeah, and a lot of you softies out there allow your women to decide like what to do with,
Yeah, Sims,
with the
please.
purchasing.
Please stop it. All right, Alphas, I'm talking to you. Buy your house. That's what I do.
Yeah, so for those guys of you who do that, that's fine. Nothing against it, but yeah, kitchens and bathrooms because women have a lot. Well, if anyone doesn't know, 80% of the consumer base, anything that's bought, 80% of it, or 85, depending on who you're asking, is decided on by women, regardless of who makes what. So, yes, indeed. If you want to press the ladies, no, seriously, seriously.
I'll tell you
That's
what.
how it goes.
This is what you do.
That's why you
because
have
and you you know how I feel about that. So
Go ahead.
Sheri, can you agree for the fans out there that every area has different aspects of the home that will be valued more? Some areas value a pool and will appraise the home higher. Some areas will not. A pool won't appraise it higher. So what I recommend people do is, if you want to take out money from your home equity and put it in the home, have an appraiser come over privately and appraise your home and tell you what aspects of that home, of that neighborhood, are profitable for your home.
Got it.
Right? So maybe adding that pool will give you some more equity in the house. Sometimes redoing that kitchen, redoing the roof and the windows. Roof, windows, kitchen, bathrooms. Some towns have a different percentage. The kitchen could be 35% value. The bathroom could be 25% value. Some places some places, what is it? The extra square footage will give you value. Not as much as a kitchen, though. So you got to check with your neighborhood to see what the appraiser sees as an asset to the home.
Okay, now I want to get deep into that for just a second
What you
there.
got?
I do want to ask you, like, while we're on that topic, what is it about a kitchen that you can do? right? Or a bathroom that you can do that's most impressive? Because I know you've taken people on tours and everything. What do you see the most amazed by? If I'm doing what Garage Geek is suggesting, right? Like, let's say put the money back in. What would be the best way to do that? What should I be looking at to change? Should I do pedestals thing? Should I do a old school bathtub? What kind of floor? What are people most impressed with? What is the most?
A bathtub that has 2 women in a jacuzzi, bro.
I mean,
Put a bottle of Alizé, Dom Perignon preferred. That would be the most impressive bathroom ever. They come with the house. Didn't you buy that house?
not all of us have that type of access, bro. But I see what you
does
mean.
not want to be on there.
It doesn't. I'm never bringing that car out again. That's it. You just qualified, and I haven't eliminated the car in a long time. But I'm looking very forward to eliminating the Mustang.
What you got, Sheri? Talk to me.
So in the bathroom, the thing that makes people the most excited these days is crystal showers.
Crystal showers.
Crystal shower, yes.
Really?
Crystal shower.
What is a crystal shower?
A crystal
Not
shower
that-
is an all glass enclosure. Most
See
of
how
them
whole
have.
demeanor
Oh,
just
Yes.
No, she just lit up. No, I see it. She just lit up.
Stone, bench seating, with the rain, the rain shower head, all of that goes very far in
Got it.
the resale value.
Yeah.
And then the kitchen, you want the 42-inch cabinetry, the upgraded appliance package, the beautiful, granite countertops and the double sink.
Yeah, most of these women don't even cook.
Granite. Now, I've
Don't
heard
even
people,
cook
I've
out
heard
here,
people
bro.
try to use substitutions for granite. Does that hold its
Marble.
value? If not,
Yes, if you do marble, then you went above it, but granite is sufficient.
granite is sufficient.
Granite
Now,
is
is there
sufficient.
anything else that you can? We're not going to say laminate, but is there any material? Is there any material in between granite and?
They have Corin. They have.
Yeah.
You have quartz. You have
quartz.
selections.
Okay, so you can still get a good value back from it. That
Yes.
people will be impressed by. Okay.
Let me say this: women walk into the kitchen and go, look at this countertop. What's going on with this countertop? And they don't see anything else in the house. So yeah, it makes a difference.
Okay. As far as the exterior, right? I was one of those dudes who was sitting there watching HGTV all day, and I used to watch stupid stuff like Curb Appeal and all of that. So I'm like, wait, what do you do exterior wise? What's the best way to kind of, if you were going to refinance and try to invest in it, what would you do to the exterior of your house to if you wanted to sell?
A decent siding.
Decent siding.
And a reasonable, like
Good paint job.
Yeah, you could paint, but most often you're going to put on a nice siding and a neutral color.
Now, I guess that's a neutral color. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's another thing.
Now you could do the bright blue, that beautiful bright blue, but it's not going to work in every neighborhood.
Got it. Yeah. Some
neighborhoods restrict you on
Right.
what kind
Yeah.
of color you can put
And
on.
that purple is going to be even,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You may not want to do.
You've seen that
purple.
house.
I'm gonna say no.
You've seen that.
Everyone has seen that house.
I'm gonna say no.
And it's a beautiful house, but not every neighborhood will accommodate that
Yeah,
in the
no.
same way.
Some of these neighborhoods are more weird than others.
And cut your
they
lawn,
certainly-
edge your lawn. Have some curb appeal.
Cutting edge.
Oh yeah,
right?
edge it. Yeah. Get some. Just get a landscaper. They're not
Fill
even
in
that.
those spots that are.
They're not even that expensive. Get a landscaper. They go ahead and do it. They're not that bad. Landscapers are way cheaper than I've ever perceived. I didn't know that they were that cheap.
If you could find one. They're all locked up at the border. Forgive me.
If you're in the South Jersey area,
Get me
I got a couple for you. So let me know. Let me know.
Ice, what?
So another thing while they're on this, before we jump off this topic, there's definitely very little personalization, right? So don't put any wild colors, anything too flashy, right? You try to get things that are more so trendy, because there are some things that are universally impressive versus you over personalizing. Like I've seen people try to go very contemporary and things like that, but then you're like, you're gonna make a lot of people unattracted.
Yeah, you
they're
have
just gonna
somebody
be like, "What the
do
hell?"
pavers in their driveway with the letter J on it.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work.
My name starts with an S.
You know?
Seen that too.
Don't do that. So don't over personalize anything.
Have a
Make
pool
it
with
to
your
where
last name on the bottom.
find things that are universally impressive, and then we'll be good to go.
And then one more thing is make sure that you're looking to do what you would want somebody to express to you. Like if you go to look for a home, you're not looking for like dirt in the corner and little cracked paint here, Whatever you want to see, make sure that that's what you're presenting at your own home.
Now, one of the most valuable services that a real estate broker, realtor does that I personally like is that they do the negotiation.
Okay.
Right, Sheri?
Right.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So everybody is going to want to put a number on their purchase. In this environment, in this market, we are not negotiating and the seller's coming back to you and saying, you know what, I don't really want that number, because there are other people who want to purchase that same home and they're putting their best foot forward. So you want to do the same thing. The negotiation game has changed completely. There may not be 14 offers on a property anymore, but there's 9, there's 7. Only one person is going to get the home. You should be that person. So don't lowball an offer. That's not a negotiation.
So you're saying that negotiation now is not a common practice like it used to be before?
No.
Because you just get bought out quick by
Right,
the next person. While you go back and figure your new number.
Right, yes, right.
That's different.
While you go back trying to find a number, they're like, no, we took something. Thank you so much, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you do those. You do
Yes,
do that.
we will.
And if you think that the house is overappraised, you will let the people
Overpriced,
know.
yes.
Yeah, overpriced.
Yeah. We will say that number just won't work.
Doesn't sound good.
No, it won't work.
Wow. Yeah, and that's important. That's why you need to go with an expert sometimes, because you'll never be able to gauge the market like an expert would. You have to have someone who's a professional, and sometimes you want to be cheap, but if you are, then you're probably going to get ripped off in the long run, and it's not worth it. Hire a professional. Please do. We have the information in the description. When you're looking to get to a good property, hire an expert, because they're going to hose you. That's just what it is.
Yep.
If you don't know, and I'm sure you've seen people.
I've seen it.
Who can you tell me some of the experiences where people have asked you in retrospect, like, hey, you know what? Well, I know you got a nightmare story. I know you have a nightmare story.
Oh my goodness! Listen, if you go to a home and it does not meet your desire, don't ask me to take $50,000 off the asking price and present it to the seller, and then wonder if the seller is going to accept it. So we know the seller is not going to accept $50,000 off their asking price, right? Really, yes.
Okay.
We know that. But in terms of negotiation, you do now have the ability. The market is sliding a little bit towards the buyers. It's not a complete seller's market. It's not nearly a buyer's market. We are starting to see some seller concessions now. Some home prices are being reduced. So you have negotiation room, but it's not going to be total, okay?
Okay.
You have room.
Okay, so there you got it. Smoove.
Yeah, for all you renegades out there, I need you to stop that. That's what we're going to say. All you renegades going out there thinking that you know what you're doing. I didn't even do that. That's one mistake I did make. The one mistake I did make, and I want to know what your thoughts are on this. I did not put a warranty on my home when I purchased it. So, and it was an option, but I was like, I didn't know any better. It looked like it was good. Next thing you know, that went sewer line.
Sewer line, bro. That's a couple.
The hot water heater, the HVAC, everything that you could think about. I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, I'm talking about within like the first.
You got to have an
year.
inspector come out there and check your stuff too.
We did have an inspector. He passed it.
Right. The inspector has limitations. The warranty is going to be valuable to at least 80% of families. For some home buyers, something is going to go wrong in that first year. So you want to put a warranty on the home if you have the option to do so.
I would have saved thousands of dollars. Please get yourself a warranty. I promise you, you want to get a warranty. You don't want to take that L like I did. I'm talking about thousands. Just one incident cost me $13,000 when the sewer went.
The sewer, right?
Yeah, because I just had brand new floors.
Oh,
I had to dig the floor up.
Yep.
Because they don't have basements. Don't buy a house.
Call for a mark out.
God.
Yeah.
Don't buy a house without a basement. That's just
dig.
me. But I don't know. What do you think about houses without a basement?
I used to think it was a good idea until you just said.
Sorry.
There goes that idea.
Listen, and I'm gonna tell you why. There's so many different. I had to run because I run wires on all myself and everything.
Okay.
I had altar. I had to go around the house. It's so hard to hide it if you don't have a basement. You can't get to your plumbing. Your main line for your plumbing, I would have been straight because I could have changed it if it were me. If it were just going through the
I
wall.
don't see you sitting there digging and hammering away at concrete.
Well, no. If I had a basement and the pipes were just like above, they were in the basement, but they went outside. No, it was in the slab, so they had to rip up my floor, then the slab, and then when they did the jackhammers, I had a saltwater fish tank. I lost about $3,000 for the saltwater fish. My whole ecosystem died. I had seahorses, bro. Like,
Your insurance didn't take care of it.
They took care of was the inside of the floor part. The outside I had to do, and the fish tank, all that total loss. It was bad. It was awful, man.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Awful. It was a nightmare.
Sounds like you need a real estate agent.
No, I had a real estate agent.
I mean,
what I didn't have was a warranty. I certainly needed a warranty.
There you go.
A warranty. So I'm
Straight from Smoove is get a warranty. Don't be like Smoove.
I know.
Stupid. Pay that $13K.
All good.
Just to take a dump in the house. I can't shit.
Oh man, I was thinking about everything, but it wasn't like anything. We had where I live, they have Orangeburg piping. I don't know who isn't familiar with that, but it's really stupid.
Wow,
it's
man.
pretty much compressed paper.
Did you have
Who
two
make pipes out of that? I'm like, what are y'all doing? Look, what are y'all doing? It's not, they didn't even have PVC. Yeah. Listen, I didn't know about any of this stuff. Listen, the next house that I get, I'm gonna
What real estate agent put you in that? You come see Sheri. She'll take care of you.
My next job, I'm on
Sheri will take care of you.
We ended up getting another question over here or two. Let's see what we
Scar, I
got.
think the termite statistic does sound like an urban myth.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah. All right. If you stop paying taxes on a house, can someone else pay it and claim your
Yes.
question
Yes.
mark?
Yes, absolutely.
Is that
Yes.
a
Some
city
people professionally go
or
out and
a bounty issue?
start paying these liens.
That's their
Oh, that's-
investment
that's the
strategy.
county.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that's
go down
what
to the county, go down the list.
Yep.
Wait,
Start paying
no
them.
way. You can
Yes.
just pay somebody.
Yeah.
tax.
Yes.
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 Absolutely.
They do it all the
Make
time.
well,
How long do you have to default on your taxes before?
If it's on that list, you can pay it.
Oh,
Yeah.
on average,
I
let's
think
say, what is it like? How long? Not like a quarter or nothing, right? It doesn't have
No,
to be
no, no,
like-
no. They give you some time. It's just like a foreclosure. It takes time. The process. It varies from town to town.
Wow.
And
so
if
you
you
can
don't
just
pay
go
your-
ahead and you start. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
sounds kind of like theft, but I like it. Can you go ahead and wait a minute? You just go down the county list.
Listen, that car's not gonna make it.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a done deal. Crash.
So wait.
What's up?
Wait a minute.
Mm.
Wait a minute. You could just go down the list
Yeah.
and then just say, "Look, I'm going to pay their taxes," and then they're eventually going to get evicted. And
They will
it'll
have
be
to
yours?
pay you that money
With a certain
with
time
with
frame.
a certain
Yes,
certain time
Or
frame
what? The
and-
sheriff's
with
department's
interest.
going
and
to evict
interest.
them?
No, you go to court, tax court.
Oh wow! I had
And
no idea.
in
about
order
that.
for
I
them
hope-
to
I hope y'all are listening to that.
Right. Pay your taxes.
Pay your taxes, people, because if not, a cat like me or Jose, or maybe even Sheri might have
show.
go
I
ahead and go
wouldn't
on
do
that
it.
list.
I wouldn't do it.
I'll snatch it, bro.
Yeah.
Snatch it. Cuban J in the house.
The conquerors. We'll go ahead and do that. We're gonna slide right up, just how we slide up in your girl DM, man. We're gonna slide right up in your taxes. We're gonna slide right up in your taxes.
It's a city issue, Scar. So if you live in a city and the property taxes are paid to that city, so the city you go down to City Hall, they will give you a list of all the delinquent property taxes. Now, one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that you can, and you should, and I always do on my properties, you should always abate your taxes. Abatement means you go and you fight and you challenge City Hall, and it makes them be accountable. Thank you. For the amount of taxes that they're charging. Remember, taxes are to pay the police, fire, administrative costs. So sometimes they go up, and if you don't say anything, they're not going to take them down. So every year or every 2 years, you go call your attorney, and they don't charge you anything if they don't lower the property taxes,
Wow.
because they can go out of hand.
Yeah, they are
So
disrespectful.
People just pay them, and they don't know that they can actually challenge them.
Yeah.
And that challenge doesn't cost you anything. So if that challenge actually comes out to say, well, you're right, this year we're too high, or we can come down because the values and the calculations that they use are not viable and they're incorrect, you've just got your taxes dropped.
Wow. So you're just getting an amendment.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
very
a lot of
useful.
people don't do that, but you should.
Yeah, so definitely pay your taxes, or the homeboy will slide up in your taxes and pay that for you.
Now, Sheri, you also do multi-family investments.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
All right. So a lot of people would like to get into multifamily. The one thing that they need to know is that either a duplex, triplex, or quadruplex close to where you already live is your best investment.
Say that again. Can you say it faster?
I can. A duplex, a triplex, or a quadruplex,
Uh-huh.
because that's considered a residential property. When you get to 5 units, you're in a commercial. You don't.
Oh,
wanna be
wow. So no matter what, residential or not, 5
Residential
units
is
plus,
4
that's
units.
the
5 units
threshold.
plus, yeah, because the fire code changes.
Ugh.
Yeah, insurance changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So if you're going to, so don't do 5. If you do 4 or do like 20, right? Don't go
Stay away from flat roofs too.
flat roofs, bad, right?
High on insurance.
Okay.
It's hard to find an insurance company to insure a flat roof on a residential.
And that's because what they're
2, 3, 4
prone to
family.
caving in?
Well, yeah, because the snow stays on there. A lot of leak problems.
Yeah.
Right. People don't maintain
There's
them.
no way for the water to
go, so it just
to
sits
go.
there
it
with
sits
all
there.
that
You have a
weight.
lot more problems on the roof than a normal house that's
Stay
apex up.
away from the flat roofs.
Yeah.
And there's a caveat with that as well, because now that the building costs have gone up, those roofing costs have gone up as well, which makes the insurance costs go up.
Oh,
So
wow.
people are experiencing right now increases in their homeowners insurance, and they weren't expecting that to happen, but that's a result of all the building costs increasing.
All right. GC's jumped in the building. What up, guys? We got
Hey,
another
what's
one.
going on?
Hey,
Welcome to the
GC.
show. So how do you
Alright.
start?
Men's
With the,
Relationship and Health
multifamily.
Podcast. Hello.
What you got?
All right. That's no, they just said hello.
Oh.
They have been here. They checking it out, man. We got some people jumping in. That's why I wasn't worried about starting late, man, because we know cats be coming in later and doing what it do. Yeah, I never knew that. Great. All right. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I am going to turn the scrolling ticker on. We are going to open up the telephone line for all those of you who are not bashful. Feel free to call, or if you really feeling froggy, cam up. If you're not bashful, cam up. We can take your questions. You could look me in the face. I could look you in the face, and we could ask a few questions out here. And I think that you might like some of these answers. Anything that you want directly answered in real time. So just in case there's a follow-up, you don't have to sit there and type it up all crazy easy. And to get in, it kind of works like Zoom. So all you do is when you hit the link that's in the description, you can copy paste the number, and it's actually scrolling at the bottom, or the video link. If you just touch it, it's in blue. It's within the description. Hit more. So once you see the title, you hit more, and then it'll show you the entire description, and the link is right there. If you like to cam up, I'll put you in agreement, then we'll get you in within seconds. Just allow your camera and allow your audio, and then we can answer your questions if you like, and we'll get it popping.
Shout out to my boy John. What's up, John? Thanks for the show. Thanks for tuning in. My boy Oscar, Orlando. Get that house, man. Get that house.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely want to jump in on this one.
Make that money.
So, if you were going to say, this is one question I definitely. What are some of the most common misconceptions people will have about buying a home? What do you think is like what they really just don't know?
They think that the process is smooth and easy, like they can just go find a home and buy a home, and then they're, sit and chill.
What's the hardest part about it?
Financing for most people is the hardest part. Everything else is gravy. If you have
Okay.
financing, then you're out shopping.
Now,
Okay.
and so if your finances are okay, then likely your financing would be rather easy or easier, right?
Easier.
Because
That's where the pre-approval comes in.
Right.
nice. So yeah, get your pre-approval, because then you can shop freely. Because a lot of people, there are some people that won't allow you to view a home unless you're pre-approved for the amount that house costs, right?
Yes,
You want to tell us a little bit about that process?
Yep. They'll say, make sure you send us a pre-approval, and then once we receive it and review it, then we will approve your request to tour.
Yeah, because they're not playing. They're not going to just have a bunch of punks
No,
running
no,
around their
no.
house.
Around,
I-
casing the house out.
Yeah.
We'll be back later.
Another one.
Oh, this is what you got all the what?
What?
Okay, this is what you like.
Yo, it's $5 million house.
got another
Yeah,
interest
I want to
over
check
there?
out this house. All of it.
Yeah, they're not having it. Particularly when you start getting into the higher scale, I would imagine, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's probably a threshold.
You have
where
to walk in with them, right?
You want to make sure that your realtor attends.
Okay. Now, here's one that's a little bit weird, but you may have experienced it. I remember a guy told me before, and I guess maybe it was the way he dressed or whatever. He said he didn't want to show up to buy the house. He sent his realtor alone to represent him because he did not want them to see him, because there are certain neighborhoods. I wouldn't want to move to a neighborhood that wouldn't want me to move there. To be honest, that's me. But some people just want to live places. But there are some people who are selective about who they will sell their homes to. Have you ever experienced that, where people will be selective about who they sell their homes to?
Yes, because now we have cameras everywhere. And a lot of buyers don't realize that those Ring doorbells, they record everything inside and out. So you're in the house saying, man, why they put this green, and not accepting that offer, right?
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's the whole
So
thing.
You have to be careful when
Yeah.
you disqualify somebody, because you can legally get into trouble.
Really?
For being racist, yeah. You can't just say, hey, look, you're this color. I don't want him to buy my house.
Well, you can't say that, but you can just say,
you
hey,
can't actually exercise that. You have to give a legitimate reason, and that's where their attorneys get involved.
Oh, really?
So if that person is pre-qualified, has the funds to purchase that home, and you don't like them for X, Y, Z reason, you can't just disqualify them for those kind of reasons. Because remember, when you buy a home, one of the things was that there's a contract. So you're going to negotiate in good faith.
Got it.
So
Okay.
part of negotiating in good faith is doing it in good faith, not being prejudiced to any antics that have nothing to do with the actual buying process of that home.
Got it. Yeah, because I mean, I saw that before, and this was in Cherry Hill. It was a guy I was talking to. He was like, yeah, and he wasn't even a minority or anything, but he just, he really dressed like a b-boy, and I couldn't understand it. But
well, I mean, today's era, you have people that are on social media making millions of dollars. You could dress like anything.
He didn't want anybody to. He didn't want anybody to see him, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, I sent my realtor. I didn't want them to, try to deny me or whatever. And I'm like, all right.
We've had it happen, though. You have had sellers in the past deny a qualified buyer or a qualified lessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does happen.
Are they penalized, but do you have to prove it?
You have to prove it, right?
Yeah, so
you have to prove
that's a
it.
battle
So,
in itself,
right,
right?
and some people are just not ready to enter that battle, so they move on.
I would probably just buy another home,
Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
Instead of, yeah, I'd have to
Yeah.
really, 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 really like that house in order to.
To say, hey, look, I don't care. Just give
Like,
it to
no, you're gonna sell me this house.
Yeah, you can say that. Hook or crook, I'm coming in.
Oh, I'm gonna get this house. You're not
So-
playing with me. This is my house, and yeah, so that could be challenging. Now, one thing that I've always told people: listen, go in your neighborhood in the daytime, see how it looks, and go at night,
That is
because
correct.
I know countless people who are surprised when they go there, and then all of the the b-boys are outside drinking 40s and whatever, or just anything, or it might be a lot of animals. You see possums at night, whatever. It might be something that you just don't like. There's an element that you don't like. So go to the neighborhood. It might be dangerous. It might just be loud. Certain things that you don't want to get into a 30-year deal with, right? Because you may not easily been able to get out of it. Some of us go for broke when we go for a house. Now, that's another topic I want. All right.
What's up?
Percentages. What would you advise somebody?
You like percentages, don't you?
I do. I'm a numbers guy
can
because I mean, no. When you think about it, because a lot of people, there's such a thing as house poor, and
Of course.
many of us are house poor. Some of us would have.
The best of us are house poor.
Right. So,
Yeah.
do you have any particular formula that you would maybe advise some of your clients to say, you know what? Do you ever dip into their finances at all, or you just let them come and do whatever?
No, we don't let them do whatever. You have to review everything. In order to represent them properly, you want to know what kind of position they're in. So
Got
you
it.
review everything. Even though I am not a mortgage lender, I do take a look at the numbers and ask them pertinent questions
Got
about
it.
their qualification.
Okay.
So you really want to stay around 30%. It's a great number
30% of your
30%
income.
for
There you go.
your mortgage payment.
Got it. So if you make $10,000 a month, then you don't want it to be more than
3,000.
$3,000.
Right. Yeah.
Your mortgage, and some of
But the-
us
but
are
the
paying
financial-
$3,000 mortgages and probably make $5,000 a month, which is outrageous. You shouldn't do that.
But the bank's not going to give you, like the finance team, they're not going to approve a loan where they see that. They've changed
Did you-
that. They've changed that Smoove.
Yeah,
Since that housing
This-
crisis, they changed all of it.
They've got. Yeah.
I used to own a
They've been-
brokerage. We used to
they've
give
been a
people
little- Listen, they was
mortgages,
giving
yeah.
out anything, man.
We used to, yeah.
These dudes was trying
And they
to
stopped it.
Yo, they were
They
trying to
stopped it.
approve me for like $500,000. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Nah, on a $25,000. You can do it.
I'm like,
We
bro,
got you.
I'm like, that sounds good,
Yeah, they
though,
stopped
and
that.
I like the houses
Right?
in that
Am I right or
range,
wrong,
but
Sheri?
You
it
are
just
right.
doesn't. I just don't want to pay that much because then I won't be able to do anything else. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You're like, wait,
Where are you? I'm home. What do you think? I'm
Ramen for
home.
the next 30 years to pay this house.
Yes, I'm home. That's where I am.
Air mattresses.
Yeah, where's your furniture? I'm working on it, man.
I got no blinds. I got paper. You see the paper ones that they
Yeah,
fold
the
up?
paper blinds. Yeah, we don't want any of that. So don't put yourself in a position to where you're going to be house poor. It's pathetic and not worth it. Please stay away from that. Do not do that. I would advise you not to behave like that.
Get a realtor. Get a good mortgage rate. If you could pay down, if you could pay down the interest on that with points, right? Do that. Shop for good insurance. Amend the taxes immediately as soon as you get the house.
Immediately,
As soon as you get the house,
you get your first mortgage payment.
get in there. Get your attorney. You could do it yourself, or you can have an attorney do it for you. And yeah, because if you look at the tax history and it's never been done, chances are
It's too high.
that's too high.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. And
Yeah.
remember, you're not married to the interest rate. You're married to the house. The interest rate can always be refinanced. The rates
Got
come
it.
down.
Now,
let's sell it.
let's say, because I don't want to get too deep into it, but I do realize you do advise in other aspects. Do you go for fixed or ARM? In
Fixed.
most cases?
Fixed.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because
Fixed arm gets people into trouble. They don't
yeah,
even
because
understand
yeah.
what
just,
they're doing.
just imagine if
Unless
you
you're
took
going to
an
sell
arm-
it before the arm changes.
Let's imagine you took the arm under Trump and like, yeah, man, this is great, right? And then
And now in the body, like,
now you're in the Biden era.
my
You're like, you're like, no.
Yeah, I know people
What
like that,
happened?
so-
What happened? What
Yeah.
happened? What happened?
no doubt.
What happened?
Yeah.
Because and I would always say, and sometimes if it's low, it seems like a great idea, but if it's low, just go for the fixed, right? If it's high,
Yeah.
then you might say, oh well, maybe I think it'll drop. Maybe not, but you don't want to take that risk.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the problem that I have with that. I would be afraid
Also,
to take an
some-
adjustable rate mortgage.
Some things that, getting back to Scar's point, if you're going to take out the equity from the home, some people can use that to start a business, buy another home on a down payment, a multifamily. So at least you're doing something that's going to generate income to pay that money back and make you some.
Right.
So, Scar, you should probably reach out to the Sheri team and get you started.
Yeah, I think so. And the call lines are open. Do not be bashful. The call lines are open if you want to call up. And the cam link is in the video description. So if you just hit the description, you'll see it pop up. If you want to talk to us, you want to ask any questions in real time, you can either call the phone or if you want to go on the line and cam up and show your beautiful faces, go ahead and do that too. We're for it. We are completely for it. So yeah, that's a scary thing because I know a lot of people, especially with your first time purchasing, right? There are some benefits to purchasing your first home, right? What do you say are the best things people should take advantage of?
The very first benefit is not paying any more lease payments. If most people multiply what they pay a year for their rental payment or their lease payment, they really want to invest that into a home as soon as possible. If you're paying $1,400 a month right now, multiplied by 12, That's $20-something thousand that could be equity in your
Yeah,
own
because you get
investment.
nothing from
You
it.
get nothing.
Yeah.
There's no return.
There is no return on it. And especially young people nowadays, they get more into the renting because they don't want to be bothered
Yeah, they
with
move around
the
a lot.
maintenance,
Yeah.
right? They don't want to be bothered with the maintenance.
Then
It's true
And
too.
it's like, okay, I don't want to mow a lawn. Now I got to buy a lawn. I got
townhouse.
you get right. You
Or a
buy a
condo.
town, you buy a condo, no
to
maintenance.
have low maintenance, and then you
right.
still own
you
it.
pay somebody right.
I mean, they'll still have to take care of the inside,
Right.
right? But then you also, the inside is covered by insurance. So if your hot water heater goes out, insurance pays for it, and you have enough money to pay somebody to come in and change it.
Right.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
So there are ways to. You should not be broke. You should own a home. Owning a home is part of a portfolio of making some money. It can be passed on from generation to generation. So you could do the hard work now, have your kids inherit it, mortgage free, and they already started their life with a home that's already done, fixed, no mortgage. You follow?
Generational wealth.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the
we
point.
Need to, we need to focus on that.
Yeah,
Generational wealth.
ownership. You can't build wealth by renting nearly as much as you can by ownership. And you know what's wild? My lender tried to get me into a second home, and I'm like, they're like, yeah, you can get another property. I'm like, yeah, we can have you approved for a second. I'm like, what do I need two houses for? So, is there a scenario where you may want to get a second property or no? But for whatever reason, my
Sure, rent it out.
my lender. Okay. Now,
Income.
how difficult is that to do as a startup, right?
Your down payment is higher. You're still making the same investment. You just have a higher down payment. You have a second property that, like Jay says, you're renting out for income. It's also gaining equity.
Yeah.
So you have
okay.
two properties that are gaining
That are
equity.
gaining
Now
equity.
you have two properties in your portfolio.
I don't want to cut you off.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
go ahead.
So you had to work hard for the first initial down payment for the first home,
Okay.
right? But now you don't have to work hard to get the down payment for the second home because you have equity in the first home. Pull it out, drop it on the next house,
Whoa. Oh, that sounds like.
and repeat. Holla at your boy.
So,
Make money.
so take the. So that's okay. So you would take equity out of your first home,
Why not?
drop it into the second home. It is an investment that's automatically going to give you some type of return, and
course.
then so if you just did that, now, that's all profit every month. So
Right.
that house is paying for itself and building a profit at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to a level, you do the
And
third.
amend those taxes too.
Right. And immediately amend the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I never thought of it like that. That might be the.
That's why I'm here.
That might be.
That's why we're here.
That might be the way to go. So if you are currently a homeowner and your mortgage company so happens to say, hey, we can get you into another property, that would be the perfect use of it.
You
Versus
get a realtor to come out, find a home that would be within the price range where a down payment would be affordable, and you take it from there, right?
Now, I want to ask you this: as far as being able to feel out, like let's say a seller, right? You would have a way better gauge than a person. Like you would know like the offers, right? Like you would say, oh, okay. Just like I'll see a car online, and I'll be like, I would look at it and be like, oh, okay. They want 2,500. I'll probably give them 22. Right? You would know.
Yes.
You have a very good idea as to where the offer may end up. You
Right.
know where the end game is, right?
Right.
You want to explain a little bit about that?
Yes, you get a sense of what the sellers are actually trying to do when they put a house on the market and for how long it's been on the market. So there's a gauge days on market you'll see online that lets you know when there are offers being accepted, but there are times when offers are not being accepted. Sometimes sellers will put a price on the market and their agent will recommend that they lower it. Their answer will be negative. No, I'm not going to do that. But you as a savvy buyer might say, well, let's make an offer on that house. Anyway, the seller is likely to take an offer on the house. Nobody else is willing to make an offer because they feel like they won't negotiate with them.
Got it.
You as the savvy buyer, you make an offer on that house because there are sellers who will negotiate. They just think they want their number, but when they get a number, then they'll take that.
And then, of course that's going to depend a little bit on the market.
A little bit.
A little bit on, let me see. Oh, okay. Somebody, we got a question from GC.
Hey, GC.
He wants to know cash out refi. Please discuss.
That's one of those take money out of the house conversations we had earlier. When you're cashing out refinance, that means you're taking your equity out of the home, and we've already discussed several ways that you can use that money to benefit you, as opposed to you're not taking a vacation with it. You're increasing your assets so that you're benefiting from the withdrawal, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had this is I think they just came in a little bit late. That's what happened, but we'll touch on it for a second. So
Right.
we were basically saying, you want to make sure that you're putting equity back into the home for the most part, because you're going to lose your money. If like Sheri was saying, if you go on vacation, that money's just it's blown. You took equity out of your home, you're going to have to pay it back,
Right.
and it's blown. So we were talking about kitchens and bathrooms. Those are the two most I guess the best returns you're going to get back on your home, because
Yes.
women, which are very responsible for how the market goes as far as people purchasing homes, right? And they love them. Kitchens and bathrooms. That's where it's at. That's where they see the differences, because for the most part, everything else is just kind of walls.
Right.
Right. So,
and here's
really,
the,
right?
Right. And here's the other thing. Some families have experienced where they've done so much cash out refiing that they're upside down.
Ooh.
Yes. So that's what happens if someone's not monitoring that process. You'll see in the history of a mortgage for a property, $30,000 refi, $40,000 refi. It adds up. And then when it's time for the value of the home either to be sold or it's transferred by an estate, there's no value.
Wow. Whew. Yeah, you don't want to be one of those guys. Don't be a loser. Do the right thing with your money once you if you're gonna go that route of the refi. I'm absolutely petrified of making that move like that, because I don't know if you're taking money out, right? So that's the bad part. You're taking money out. So it's like, what are you going to do?
Right.
I'm scared of that.
Right. My clients
I'm
call
scared.
me and ask me, can I know? No. I like to know.
No. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Rejected.
That makes a lot of sense. We were just touching on the cash out refi. We had a couple of cats coming a little late. We'll go over a few more things too. But like I said, if you guys want to really go in depth, I suggest.
Yes.
Yeah, I would suggest you do it in real time. We have the number up here, and we have the video cam up here. So this way, at least if you have follow-up questions and you want rapid answers, immediate answers in real time,
That means you, Rob.
then you might want to call up just so you can get some, more specific answers, right? Detailed answers, because at least you'll be able to communicate back. Because I know we're probably answering them pretty well, I would imagine, but the best possible outcome would be if you did call in. So that's bad. I didn't know the most. Uh-oh. We have someone. Someone's here. Where are we? All right. GC is in the room. We're gonna bring him up real fast. Let's see. I see you, GC. You're on me. You're in the green room.
Can you hear me?
Fine. What's happening?
Can you hear me? For whatever reason, the volume is
All right.
incredibly low.
Is your volume on your thing up?
GC, welcome to the show.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I had to change it to speakerphone because I couldn't hear too well.
You
All
sound
right,
better.
so first things first. Yeah, I got here a little late, so what I did want to talk about a few things because I myself am in real estate. Did you mention a 1031 exchange at all?
No, not yet. Not yet. Go ahead and ask that question.
Yeah, I think I think that'd be
Go
fantastic.
ahead. What do you want to know about it?
I just want to know about, your experience with the 1031 exchange. If many of your clients use it, and if so, what have been the best methods where that was applied?
Well, you have experience with 1031?
My team does, but I don't really deal with the exchanges.
No.
No, and I don't either.
That's what my team does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I
what-
can't-
I mean, you normally do it for multi dwellings.
One
You
thing
said
I,
you normally do it for multi-dwellings?
Can you hear you?
Can you hear me?
Who, me?
Yeah. Do you normally do it for No. Let me put my
Well, I haven't done it. But I'm actually working with people that may do it. I know the tricky thing with the
Yeah, it's tax
1031
deferred.
is that you need something very similar to what you're selling. You need to be buying something very similar for that
Right.
1031 exchange to go through.
Right, what he's talking
But
about is when you have the equity.
yeah. I make a recommendation. The tax laws for the 1031 changed recently, so you want to make sure that you research that carefully. And then there's a special team of attorneys that you need as well to bring on board in order to make those transfers.
Now keep in mind that you're not exempt from paying taxes. You're just deferring the taxes on a 1031.
The
absolutely.
taxes don't disappear. Yeah,
So you're still liable.
yeah.
You're just deferring it.
But you could defer it indefinitely. What I see people do, let's say they get something, a $500,000 house, 2 bedroom, or 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom. They buy another one that's in a $500,000 range. 3 bathroom, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, same thing. And then they just do that until they're unable to do it. Sure, they'll be deferring, but they'll ultimately pay at some point, or they may not pay at any point. It all depends how long they plan on holding it. But I know some people that they don't buy new property if it does not qualify for that 1031 exchange. So I think that is a clever way to transition from rental properties and sell off the asset when you want to go to another rental property, collect that equity. I just think that's very interesting. And I think that's something that I would imagine more people would do if they were aware of it.
Oh, GC. Everybody's looking at me. Okay, GC. I agree with you. However, it's that's kind of a niche team, niche group, a niche asset in real estate. We were more guided towards the beginner in real estate and the entry level and the people that are apprehensive of making their first purchase and wanting to know what it takes to acquire the first home.
Okay.
And what kind of people you need. So Sheri and her team, we're talking about the real estate agent, we're talking about the finance personnel, the tax team, and basically what the buyer needs to do, what kind of homework they need in order to be a more formidable buyer in the kind of market that we have today, where, for example, back in the day you could negotiate. Now you have people just buying it cash, or you have a bidding war. So we were basically going over that. Now, in terms of investment strategies for a little bit more complex than the first-time home buyer, we can say that for another show where I can bring my people in for the advanced investment strategies, tax deferment strategies, multi-family strategic real estate. So we just wanted to keep it to Sheri and her team, and those that are starting out. That they have a resource to go to that they can trust and have their best interest at hand. Most people are apprehensive. They feel like they have to shop around.
Sorry, guys. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Hey,
We got JC on the line, man.
So
Hey,
So-
caller. Can you hear us, caller? Give me 1 second. GC. Caller.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, give us about another 1 minute. You can stay on the line. We're just gonna we got a person on the cam right now. So give us another minute, and then we'll just hold on for a minute. We won't hang up on you.
Hey, Smoove, you can
So,
call me.
so, so,
All right,
given that
gotcha.
information,
All right, I'll call you right back.
I'm listening to you, JC. I'm with you.
I think another valuable tidbit of information, even for a beginner, would be those USDA. It's like a construction to perm equivalent. So let's say, you know, it's just about creating equity essentially. What some people do, they'll buy a house, but some people, they could buy the land and pay for the construction all in one shot. They got this new program. You guys, can you expound on that USDA program? That's like that would allow people to not only purchase land but get the construction loan with zero down.
The USDA loan is available to families. The income limits have been increased as well because there are advantages to having that 0% down for low and moderate income families. The programs that you're speaking of specifically, we are deferring to our mortgage team for that information because they can be more explicit about what opportunities are available and how families qualify for it. So we actually are putting the mortgage information on a different program as well.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Appreciate that.
Your questions are very informative, though. I'm
Yeah,
glad that
they're
you were
good
able to
question.
join
And
us.
advanced. They are not beginner
Yes.
or intermediate. They are
Right.
advanced.
We don't want to confuse
I got one
it.
more.
We don't want to.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I got one more that I think is pretty important. I don't think us up north really suffer from it as much, but it's prevalent nonetheless. Appraisals and how discrimination has infiltrated the appraisal space where, you know, people have been um, gearing towards removing anything that is Afrocentric or considered black or ethnic to any extent, to removing that from any displays when selling their house or having their house appraised, because that can diminish the value. You got a lot of places in like Texas and Arizona, some of these cases where their houses have been devalued as much as $100,000 lower than what it should be, where they would have to call in for a second appraisal, um, have a white neighbor stand in place. And I just found that to be very interesting. And I would like to know, as an insider, what are your takes on that on a micro and a macro level?
So from an appraisal standpoint, if as a professional you feel like the appraised value has not come in at the level that it should, and there are comparable sales that you have to support it, then you will call the appraiser on it and provide the values and let them reevaluate the information that they were given, regardless of the ethnicity of the family. That is the procedure for the market. Okay, so if you have an instance like that and you feel like you've been discriminated against, the first thing to do is to find the comparable sales, get the correct appraised value, and if you want to take it a step further, Housing and Urban Development will take an application from you for that situation.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
good.
You do have
Appreciate
a way
it.
to fight it. You have a way to fight it.
Word. That works. GC, I definitely appreciate you for chiming in.
JC, thanks for calling in.
We
Definitely.
actually, you know, we don't want anybody to get it twisted. We actually have some more of the team coming in
Yeah.
that's going to be able to answer those advanced questions for you. So this is like we're warming up right now.
Yeah, tune into the next show, JC.
Most people are on beginner, right? Very few are intermediate, and then you're like advanced with it. So we're gonna we're working our way up to you. Don't worry about it. But we got to start off the general public slow. All right, but yeah, we definitely appreciate that, and now we know exactly what type of questions will be.
Yeah, we want to get more minorities into the housing market, owning homes.
Yes, because at the end of the day, I think that's one of the fastest vehicles to amassing wealth. When you
Very
look at
true.
the net worth of the renter versus the buyer, you'll see that there's a massive disparity, and all of
That's why
that
we're here.
goes
Yeah.
down, hones in on home ownership. So, nah, appreciate you guys.
For
Okay.
All right.
sure. All right, man. You have a good one. Appreciate you. All
You
right.
got it. Take
Thanks
care.
for calling, JC.
Thank you.
You got it. Take care.
All right. Cool. So I'm gonna call this caller back because
That was a good call.
we said we would. This is just gonna be audio, but that's fine, right? Wait, can I call the mic?
I told my barber, I was like, listen, man, you have a good job. You declare your pay. You know, you need to start looking and thinking about owning something, a condo, a townhome, something. So, Rob, if you're listening, hit Sheri up. Take care of him for me, will you?
I'll take care of it.
There we are.
What's the
Now
caller?
I'm gonna try calling this guy. Let's see what happens. All right, and they were being patient too, so.
All right,
normally we
hit him
would
back.
call-
See if he
I didn't-
answers.
I didn't even call people back, but in this particular case, why not? Oh, what are we doing? Can I do that?
So-
What? Here we are.
You got him?
Yeah. Well, let's try.
All right. There we go.
Let's see what happens. Maybe they'll answer.
Ring, ring,
Hello?
ring, ring.
All right, we're back.
Oh, okay. My favorite.
Caller, what's your name?
Call the who?
More.
All right, bet. Mark, what's up? Shout to Mark. All right. So what you got for us?
All right, I got a whole bunch of questions.
All right, we got a whole bunch of answers. Let's get it.
Right now, I'm currently 736 credit score,
I can't hear.
and I have
736
about
credit score.
15,000 saved up.
You got about 15,000 saved up, and what was the first part?
My credit score is 736.
736. Okay, you're in a good position. Okay.
Right. So I'm just asking how you guys think I should move from here. I live in Jersey.
Where's he?
You Jersey.
All right, so you're in a good position. How long have you been at your job?
Only 2.5 years.
Excellent. So you've put yourself right where you need to be to purchase. You need to determine where you want to live, what kind of amenities you want in your house, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. You want a basement, you want a designer kitchen, you want a yard, you have kids, you want a pool. That's your next step to get pre-approved and find out how much you can afford to purchase so you'll know how much more money you need for your down payment and your closing costs.
Okay. I have no kids.
Smart man.
I'm currently at home.
Nice.
He said, no kids.
You're not my dad!
Okay.
And I just want to know, all right, so how much money should how much cash is king in the beginning, correct?
Cash is king, but we were discussing a little bit earlier in the show about what we were saying. 20% is ideal. It's not necessary, but probably ideal to avoid any of those
Extra
mortgage
insurance fees.
Yeah.
What you're doing is paying another insurance if you're not putting down 20%. So you have homeowners insurance, you have your mortgage insurance premium or your PMI if you don't have 20% to put down. But that's not excluding you from the purchase.
Right. So is it okay for me to do this?
Say that again, brother. I think your phone might not be like right. Just if you use a speaker or anything,
Yeah.
just try to jump as close to the phone as you can. Only because it's coming through, but it's not coming through great.
Okay. So is it okay for me to say so?
Wait, it
Because
was.
I know it's going to create.
All right, maybe, all right, never mind. That's too close then, I think. I don't know. It sounded a little better before. My fault.
How was this?
That's not bad. We could deal with that.
Okay. All right. So should I do FHA?
FHA? Should you do FHA?
All right, so FHA is great if you don't have enough out-of-pocket money for your down payment and closing costs. It was designed to help families that can't save 20%. So FHA is an excellent option for you if you want to keep most of the money which you've saved in your pocket. And there are also first-time homebuyer programs that you may qualify for that will help with the out-of-pocket expenses. So your job is to find a reputable mortgage representative by calling the number on the screen. And
Her number's in the description too. So, and she's familiar. You're licensed in Jersey, right?
and Pennsylvania.
And Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
So,
And then keep in mind with the FHA, the mortgage insurance stays there
It stays permanently.
forever.
if
Right.
you get an FHA loan, you are a prisoner.
No, not a
the,
not a prisoner, not necessarily. When the market changes, you can refinance into a conventional program as long as you keep your credit score and your income and your job history good. You always have the option of refinancing when things improve.
Got it. So that's just like you could sneak in that way if you're not prepared, but you really want a home,
Exactly.
and then you get your life right.
strategize to
Then
come
you
in,
can kinda,
FHA, flip over to a conventional.
And then you flip over, yeah,
Get
The
that.
only thing I say about that, it's tough trying to get your head above water if you're paying extra. You know what I'm saying? You're paying high, super high interest, and then mortgage insurance on top of it. Holy smokes! To try to save at that point, it's gonna be tough. So
Not easy. That's why you have to have a good realtor to give you an idea
Absolutely.
of how much of a home
What you can
should be able to
afford, everything
right?
else.
Exactly.
And you want to strategize as well. If there's some things that you can cut out and put into a savings account for a short time, it's not forever, it's just for now, that would also help.
nice.
Okay.
What else you
And,
got?
if I do an FHA, right, is there a time limit? You have like 10 years, 5 years.
If you get an FHA, is there a time limit on what?
On when to refinance?
Oh, how long before you were allowed to refinance?
Yes, you're gonna wait for the first year before you do your refinancing first, in most cases. So your mortgage representative will let you know if those laws are still the same or if they've changed. But for right now, you should be prepared to refinance in about the first year or so.
Within the first year.
You can. If
Oh,
the
wow.
rates change, you want to
Now,
refinance
when
out.
you do your refi, then that kind of kills the whole down payment too, right? You're not going to pay a down payment
No,
with that.
you don't pay a down payment.
With a refi, so then you could eliminate the down payment with just sneaking in with the FHA. If you could handle it if it's only 1 year, then so FHA is a good sneak attack because now you can just go in for a year, pay all that boss money, but then just say, all right, now I'm going to refi. Forget you guys. I'm going to go get a real mortgage. Still don't pay a down payment while eliminating the insurance.
And we want to investigate that. FHA had a streamlined product where there was no charge at all to refinance at one point.
no
So we
fees.
want to.
Oh.
Yeah, so we want to bring in a mortgage representative and make sure they clarify that for us.
Oh yeah, I might.
And you want to make sure that
one.
the interest rate hasn't gone up
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
in that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Right. But let's say a year from now, it's like the middle of 2024, and
Uh-huh.
interest rates have adjusted somewhat. It may be an option for him.
Okay, because the interest rates, I'm scared. I don't know if they're gonna go. They can't go up much more. I mean,
They're going up again.
They are. I know they
could
are,
go
but
up.
I mean, by a year from now.
Don't do it, okay?
I can't hear.
What's that?
I said, don't say that because.
He sounded better
Don't-
like that.
Don't say that. We sorry.
You
we
said don't say that. What?
We're sorry. We're sorry.
I don't want interest rates to go up anymore.
None of us do.
There's nobody on that boat.
Yeah, we do not want the interest rates to go up.
What other questions do you have?
So I have another question.
That's cool.
We know.
Would it help for me to pay
Would it help for you to what?
to make an extra payment a month? Like,
Oh, you mean paying towards the principal?
Yes.
One of the nice things about financing a mortgage at 30 years or whichever year you decide is that if you are able to add to your principal, you can. You're not required to. That's why it's an advantage to borrow money for as long as you can, most often 30 years. But yes, it will help you financially to add principal to your principal whenever you can, even if it's on a monthly basis.
Now, Morg, can you hear me well, Morg?
Yeah. Hey.
Okay. If you plan on keeping the house, yes. If you know you're going to sell the house 6 years down the line, and you don't really care if you pay it off at that point, you just want to make your payments, and you know that in 5, 6, 7, 8 years you're going to sell it, take the money out of it, and go do something else. You don't have to give them the extra mortgage payment.
Yeah, see, that makes sense.
Right? Because now you're going to sit there and you're going to live in that house forever, and that your kids are going to inherit that. You don't have any children, but then yes, your interest would be to pay that house off as soon as possible. But if you know you're going to sell it, there's no real reason to have to put that money there. You're going to sell it and make money off the equity anyway. It's going to be worth more by the time you sell it anyway.
If you don't refinance.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, make sure, don't leave that part out.
Don't refinance too much.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they try to take advantage of the refi.
Yeah.
But Scar actually had a comment up here a little earlier that I liked. It said, I'm going to put it back on the board here. It said, it sounds like if you take too much equity out of your home, you can become a prisoner within your own home with no way to sell.
Well, the one thing is that the bank will only let you take out so much money from your equity. There is a ratio that they will allow you to take out and still keep the home from being profitable. And then most years, on the average, home prices do go up. So that's on a case-by-case basis, depending on your neighborhood and how often it appraises. Some neighborhoods don't appraise as well as others.
Different economies and stuff. It's been crazy. Like West Coast, Northwest has been very different. It's wild. It's all over the place, and it definitely depends on where you're geographically located.
But don't buy a home thinking that you're going to go take equity out. I mean, if you're going to take equity out, do that to consolidate bills and have your car paid off and all your bills paid off. No. To better the home, to have a better appraisal value, to put that money into some avenue that's going to make you more money. But just don't take it out to have money to ball around and buy a couple Rolexes and a couple whips and. You know.
Oh yeah, see,
then you will be a slave.
If that's your home. Yes, I'm going to tell you this. If that's your mindset, pretty much, you're going to have issues, no matter how you spend it. Like, you have to be responsible with your money.
Yeah, if you're stuck and you sell it, you'll just break even. Getting back to what was the person who took him off the screen?
Oh, I'll put it back on. It was Scar.
Yeah, Scar. When it gets real bad and you sell it, you just break out even because the selling price will pay your equity line and your mortgage, provided that the worth of the home is still the same or better.
Wow. Yeah. So if you have anything else, we're with it, man. You can go ahead and if you had another question, because this is your chance.
So after I got my first, I purchased another one.
Wait, no. Something went wrong there, bro. I couldn't hear that. Please try that again.
I said after I purchased my first or duplex, whatever.
You said after you purchased your first what?
What is set to purchase the next one?
You'll be able to decide that depending upon what your financial situation looks like at the time. When you're ready to make your second purchase, you'll have to have a larger down payment because it's an investment property. But you can make that determination with your professional team when you're ready.
So now, when you say larger down payment, what does that look like? Is it like 40%?
15 to 25.
Okay.
Okay, it's not unreasonable, but it is part of the animal.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, all in all, that's not too far from what most people were thinking that the initial one was anyway, which most of us had the idea that was 20% anyway.
Well, it
so.
depends on the price of the house too. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
if you're getting a double wide trailer, you're not gonna do that.
Double wide.
The
No, let me ask you: do you
Don't
ever
knock it. People do
listen?
get double
no,
wide
no.
trailers, man.
I know.
They don't pay property taxes on it.
Let me ask you this: have you ever? Is that something that you do? Like, do you cover those like trailers and everything? Is
Yes,
that different?
well, it is.
No, we're going into it. It's too
if you-
late. We're going into
Let's
it.
get
Let's
it.
get into it.
if you wanted to
Double
purchase a
wides.
double wide trailer, I would be able to assist you with that.
Yeah.
But it's not a recommended purchase for everyone because you don't own the land that's underneath the trailer.
But you own the double.
You
wide.
just own the.
Just
You
own
just
the-
own
You
the.
could be
What are
broke.
the taxes like on a?
There's no taxes, man.
So
No, you pay a land charge, you pay a utility charge for your trailer
Ball
or a
game,
double
baby.
wide
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah,
So
you can just move it. But I see some that are just like there. Look like it's.
yes, they've been attached to the land. In fact, you can't get a mortgage for one because it's like buying a car if it's not attached
Oh,
to the
you
land.
can, okay.
I'm not joking.
So
if
wait.
it's not attached to the land, it's like buying a car.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
But if it is attached to the land,
Do
you
they-
can get a straight mortgage for it.
Yes,
Do they appraise?
they do appraise.
Yeah, they
Yep,
appraise.
they appraise
Nice.
when they appraise.
Okay.
There's a number of them for sale in Bucks County if you're interested.
In Bucks County.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, look. So,
So you can get your double wide. What you need? What you need? What you need? I got single wide, double wide. You got townhouse,
Listen,
condos,
I'm gonna tell you.
foreclosures. She's got it all, baby. It's like shopping at the mall over here.
Listen, all of that, man. I don't. Listen. I'm sure it depends on what your needs are, right? Some
Yeah,
people,
everybody's
and then especially if it's not attached
Different
to
budgets too.
to the house, that might be a nicer look because you might just
lot-
hate your neighbors, and now guess what? I'm out, right?
A lot of older
I'm
people
out.
are doing that.
Yeah, you're
They're-
not tied up.
they don't
Look,
have enough to retire.
You could literally take that into a state that's just cheaper.
Yeah,
Right, Jersey's the
$35,000 for
most
a double
expensive.
wide, baby.
Yeah, if let's say I started out in Jersey, like I'm retiring, I'm taking my house
You can take
to
it with you.
Virginia.
Take it with you.
I'm taking my house to South Beach.
I don't like your neighbor. Then move. Literally. Put it in drive.
See,
and
that,
move.
that's actually a good option. You know what I mean? And you could deck it out too, particularly.
Yeah, they
if
deck
you-
them out. I've
I've
seen
seen
them.
some
I've
that
seen
are
them
like
that
epic.
yeah,
Some
60,000.
cost more
Some
than my
from
house.
35 to 60,000. They don't pay taxes on it. They pay that hookup fee, which is a small fee. And then winter comes, they want to move. They just move down like a
Where's
snowbird.
nice? Yeah. We still have the caller here. We were just going off on a tangent here, bro. But if you have anything else, let us know, man. We're here. More, you still here? No, I was gonna say, go ahead and we just went off on a tangent just now. I wanted you to have a chance to ask any more questions if you had any.
Oh yeah, no, I'm cool. I'm listening. So I'm
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if not, I'll let you rock out. For sure, we definitely appreciate your input. We're glad you asked some sensible questions here. These are definitely questions that I feel like a lot of other people would have wanted to hear for sure, and the people who are going to watch that aren't live will thank you for it.
Yeah.
All right. So we definitely had some great questions here. We appreciate you, man.
appreciate y'all.
Thanks for calling.
All right. Take it easy. Great. So that's definitely good. So we had some very advanced questions, and then we had some that
Sounds like I gotta bring more of the team in for.
Oh yeah, we did.
For
I'm all for it.
guys.
I'm
Okay.
all for it for sure. I'm
Do
definitely
that.
for it. We'll do that. We're right up about 2 hours right now, so we do well. I'm gonna give anybody another 2 minutes to call in or cam up. If you don't, we're gonna probably sign off. And what is that?
I don't know what that is.
What is that?
Something outside the studio. I don't know.
No, I don't know what that is.
Probably the end of the world.
I never heard. It sounds like a banshee or something.
Probably Russia. It's probably Russia, dog.
Was that a purge horn in the background trying to get us up out of here?
So Sheri, thanks for
All right.
coming on the show.
Before we go, there
And,
were some people who just jumped in. My bad. Just give everybody a 2-minute recap of everything that you went over and things that you will be able to help people with, because we want to advertise you. And I'm just going to say all of her information is in the description. She even gave out the digits for cats who want to call up for professional realtor advice and help. And, that's it. That's what we're going to do. So if you want to hire a realtor, then you call them digits. That's what they're there for. Nothing more, nothing less. I had to get that straight because, we got the creep squad watching too. Anybody pops in here. Most of us are sophisticated gentlemen, but, some of us,
tend to lose it sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, 2-minute recap. So the current state of the market is a little bit more challenging, but still negotiable. So we want to work our way through that. We want to be ready to purchase, not wait for an opportunity, and then prepare ourselves for purchase. We want to go through the home buying process with a pre-approval as soon as possible. If you want to know how to purchase a property, negotiate, etc., you have individual counseling for your buyer consultation meeting that you're going to have with me. And your negotiation strategies we discuss once you find a home. If you're interested in a multifamily investment of 1 to 4 family dwelling, they are available and you can qualify for those as well. And we'll learn how to maintain them once we've purchased them. And any other questions you have, the team is available to answer them.
Let her know that you heard it here on the show, and she'll hook you up.
I'll do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. Definitely. Excellent show. We had some really good information given out here today. Some great strategies on how to purchase your first home or even to refinance. We went over plenty here today. If you have not caught it from the beginning, definitely take this back because we started out right off rip with some crazy information. We were talking about the what to do in today's economic climate. So, and that's what everybody's afraid of right now. Today's economic climate right now, we're looking at what's going on overseas, and you see China has become the adult in the room, and our dollar is about to be obliterated. So people are scared, right? There's a lot going on.
Don't be scared.
And that's the most major purchase that a person will ever have in their, well, not ever, but most human beings, that's the major purchase they're ever going to have is their home. Most of us will only have one home in our lifetimes or maybe 2, but not many. But so that's a major purchase, bigger than a car. It's bigger than anything that you can buy. So it's a decision that you have to go in informed, and then you have to go in with a professional. And that's why we have everything that Sheri Rivera has in the description. You call her number, you email her, and let her know when you are ready to do it. She's got all the info for you and can get you there swiftly. So just make sure you're prepared. Make sure your credit is right. We even went over the parameters of what your credit should look like, what your savings should look like. So there's a lot of information. Anybody who missed any of that, run this back. That's the beauty of YouTube.
Run it back.
You can always run
Give
it
her
back.
office a call. And my people are good people, so you'll be in good hands. Excellent.
All right. So, Jose, what you got, man?
Nothing, man.
Yeah?
Same old, same old. I'm good.
Same old, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. We'll dig it. That's about it for us. Is there anything you wanted to say, sir, before you sign off, or what?
Nope. Thanks for listening.
All right. And as always, stay hungry, my friends. Never thirsty.